Do you feel the vibes?
Hi there everyone, Dragon Slayer here, and today we'll be making another part of this tank game. Today we'll be working on a power-up or a item that will help the player. We're also going to make a sensor which will tell the tank whether it can see the blue tank. For example, if there was a wall in the way, it would say like I cannot see the tank, so it wouldn't move. And then finally we would also have to put a red boundary box, because sometimes walls spawn like here, and that's going to interfere with the tank like that, and then it will mess him up. So that's why we're going to have the red boundary box there. So the first thing we have to do is code the sensor. I already have this code here done, and I got it off YouTube from Funnet Tutorials. I'll leave a link in the description about how it works because he explains it very well in depth. And then there's two costumes for it. There's one with a line going halfway through the screen, and then there's also this square. Funnet Tutorials will explain exactly how it works. Then we're going to also have a medkit. This medkit basically is going to restore 10 HP whenever we touch it. So the first thing we have to do is make it spawn. It will spawn every 20 seconds. So we say when green flag clicked, we go into looks, we say hide, and then say forever. Wait 20 seconds, and then after that, create clone of myself. And we put a when I start as a clone, forever. I'll put two ifs. And then we put two touching blocks. So if touching the red tank or the blue tank. So if it touches the red tank, it would give HP to the red tank. If it's touching the blue tank, it will give HP to the blue tank. So what we do is then we go into variables and we just say the change. I'd put this as blue tank HP and this as red tank HP. Put a weight in it so that it doesn't make any more, like it doesn't do more than the amount that we want. So instead of 1, I put like 0.1. I do the same for this here and say delete clone. What this does is that as soon as the player or the enemy touches it, it will disappear. So if we start, let me just make this 1 for the moment. Wait, I forgot to make it show. So let's do that. Show, and then now let's try. If you see, oh, that's in the wrong thing. Okay, it's supposed to go into the medkit, so let's just pull all of this into the medkit and delete this. So now if we do it, as you can see, it's there, and if we go to it, there. Right now it's going to go to the same place, so we have to do a few things. So first thing is we have to go to a random position. So let's do that. Go to random position, and then at the random position, let's just pause it or else it's going to start getting laggy. Instead of 1, we'll put 10. Okay, so now if we see, there's one, there's another one. Now he got that one. But if I, for example, Okay. Anyways, if I touch it, you see how my HP is going up. It's basically what I'm going to try. Yeah. So that's what we're doing there. So that's good. Now we have to just put the red boundary box in. It's pretty simple. All we have to do is go into events, say when green flag clicked, go into motion, and say go to, and then we go to the red hull. Because we don't want this to like stop the blue tank from moving or anything. It's just to stop the walls from spawning in the spawn point for the red tank. So to stop that, we're just going to put it in the beginning there, but then it won't move along with it, so it'll always just stay there. And then we also have to set the ghost effect to 100 so that it disappears but it still works. So set effect, and then we just put ghost to 100. So now it goes there. Next thing, if you guys want to have proof, I'll show you. If we did this, you would be able to see it. Okay. Wait. It's there. Why isn't it showing? Okay. Let's see. Code. Go to set ghost effect to 0. I'll just go in looks and click show. Maybe it's hidden. Okay, so it's there. And then if we click this, yeah, it should still be there. So there we go. And we just have to change this timer to 20 again, because we don't want a medkit spawning every second or else that will get laggy. And there's that. It's off-centered, so I guess I'd have to center it. How do I center it? Center it. I don't know how to center it. Oh well, it's good enough. Anyways, for the brick wall, we just have to go into the code and just add another part to it. So if touching all of these, we just have to add another OR to that. So let's just do that. We go into operators and we put OR. So now if it's touching any of these, or on top of that, touching the red boundary box, then so we go into sensing and we say touching red boundary box. Red boundary box 1. Okay, so we have that there. And now if we go here and put this in, that works. So for some reason it's not working. If touching red boundary box 1, then show, go to random position. Oh, okay. I think that's a glitch where now 3 of them spawned because one of them was touching, and since it was touching, it made it come again. So I guess we have to fix this. So when green flag clicked, hide, repeat 2 times, create clone of myself. And then when I start as clone, we'll do that. But then you'll put this on another one so that they're 2 different things. Now if we see, will that happen? Still going there. It's supposed to be touching the blue boundary box though, right? Yeah, it's touching the blue boundary box, yet it's doing that. Okay, so we have to revise this. Let's see. When touching the blue boundary box or touching the red hull or touching any of those, go to this. So I think if we did this on a repeat 10, it just stops this. Okay, so it's not even thinking that it's there. Now if I do it, it's not even sensing it. So that's a clone, right? Yeah, that's the clone. So what to do? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. These are all good ones. Yeah, the repeat thing doesn't do anything. So let's try. Maybe not repeat 10 times, just repeat 5 times. So if it, because as you can see, it like, what if I repeated it? Wait. What if I repeated it 2 times? So now it has 2 chances not to touch. I guess 10 times is good. It just makes it look weird. I guess it's okay. So that's that. Now the last thing we have to implement is that maybe not to make it random. If any of you guys have any suggestions of whether to make the walls spawn randomly or have a set position for every match or like every game, say so in the comment section, because right now I'm wondering if I should make these like set places. I don't know. So right now we have this. So for the sensing, it's going to say, can I see 1 to no, or can I see 1 to yes? So we have to make a variable, put can I see 1. So the reason I'm putting 1 for the red stuff is because most likely I'm going to have multiple tanks depending on what level it is. So this is the can I see, and then we go into the red hull and we go to the if touching the blue boundary box or all of that, or, and you put an equals in that. So we go to operators, we say equals here, or we also need an or there statement there too. So if touching brick wall or here, and then we move this over, we put variables, or we put can I see 1, and then we put that to yes. No, actually it should be no. So then they can, if they cannot see the tank, then they shouldn't do anything. So now if we click the green flag, you can see that it should, if it's touching this, it cannot see, as you can see there. I'll just change this, take away the repeat, because it's just weird, and I'll find a solution to that. And I almost forgot, but I remember telling you guys that in part 3 where I was trying to, like, there's a point where you got stuck like this, and you could, like, there's sometimes when you got stuck and you couldn't move because you could not do anything. So what I decided to do, right, is if we go into this is the opposite part. We can still have the key A press like it goes the opposite way, but in the movement part, we also have to just add one more step, so it's always going backwards or forwards depending on which key you press. So we go into operators and you just do plus, and then you put 1, or in this one you put -1. I mean, you could also just do plus -1, it really doesn't matter. But so now if we try to touch this, it bounces us back that. So it might look less elegant, but it just shows like it's like resistance, which I kind of like. So anyways, that's that. So I should just put in a go forward because it's right now behind there. So let's just say go to front there. There. So we have that. So if we click that and we go in there. So right now this is our tank game. That's the line of sight. If it says no, right now it's touching, so it couldn't do anything. For some reason I can't seem to get my bullets to fire, so that's something we have to look at. Right now I'm just doing some bug fixing at this point. So if mouse down, create quote of myself, set blue reload to no. Let me just open up blue reload, blue reload time. If blue, so it's yes. I fire. It's no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so here's the problem. This isn't clicked together, so it came apart. Now it's working. Okay. So I guess while doing it, it came off. Okay. And now it's working. So I also think that we could make an game over screen if your HP goes down. And we could also put the animation into play with the explosion because we have the explosion animation in. So I think we'll just put the explosion thing right now. So let's start with the blue tank. Go into code. And we're just going to go into events and say when green flag clicked, go into control forever, if, and then you put an equals, you put an or, and then say equals or less than, and you put in variables, you put the blue tank HP thing, so there and there, and you put 0 and 0. The reason why you have to put the negative, like the 0 here, is because sometimes you could be on like 5 HP, right? You could be on 5 HP, or you can be, it's honestly, if it's like you go into like negative numbers for health, then this just happens. It's like the explosion. So blue tank HP equals or that, and then you go and say the costumes. You go into looks and you say switch to costume, and then you put a weight in it. I'd usually put like 0.2. Instead of costume 1, you go into explosion and just duplicate that block. How many explosions are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there would be 11. So we have 2. Now we have 4. Now we have 8. And finally we have 11. And then we just go down. Explosion 1, 2, explosion 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So now, if we just stand there, right? And also let's just put in looks here for switch to costume 1, but put in a wait like 0.1 second. So now, if I did this, the reason why I'm keeping the line of sight like not hidden right now is so that like I can make sure it's working, and I'm pretty sure it's working now, so I'll hide it right after this. This would take some time, so let's just do that. That's a little bit slow, so maybe we can make it 0.2. No, not 0.2, sorry. We can make it 0.1. So if we do that, so let's just put it down there. So it's doing it multiple times, so in control, let's just put a stop in if this equals 0, this script. So then if we also have to put a wait in here because it takes time for this to go to there. So I'd usually put like a wait 0.5 seconds because this thing can't kill this like immediately. So we put a wait 0.5 seconds. So now if we do it, as you can see, and if we did 0, it stops. And then as soon as we go there. So let's just put the ghost effect of the line of sight to 100, and boom, we have this. So in episode 5, I'll be working on the walls, like trying to fix their buggishness, and start going on like for game over and the continuing on to the next parts, such as like once you defeat this tank, you can like get a point, and then you can use that to upgrade your stats, such as HP or damage, movement speed, all of that stuff. You can use it to upgrade that, and then it's kind of like an arcade style game. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy this tutorial, and bye!